Capricorn, welcome to your reading. We are going to do the old-fashioned past, present, and potential outcome positions and go ahead and jump right into the position of the past. We start off with Six of Wands, and there you are. Now, what I see here is the very clear narrative of like the successful opportunist. There was nothing wrong with this. It's a very strong demonstration and display of being able to achieve, being able to get what we're asking for. It's like whenever we channeled our focus towards something, especially like a material item or a resource, it's like maybe the ends justified the means in some cases, but there was this glorious tale or this era in our lives where we clearly felt like winners. We felt like the structure that supported us at the time supported our success, and we knew how to benefit from it. Things were more predictable. We were able to, I use this term all the time, capitalize off of circumstances. This was maybe even having some excellence in the markets and the exchange. This is a very victorious time, and we could have felt like things were in order, things were structured. The Devil card is really promoting the idea of I even want to say like ruling, like a ruling, I'm hearing ruling class, so that may be relevant for some of you, but there's something about knowing our place. You knew where you were, you knew how you wanted to position yourself, and maybe the plan was clear. Because while the Devil card, it is in the dark here, I mean, it can be talking about absolute clarity, because if you know what the rules are, then you know the steps that are spelled out for you to get there. And there was something that was pleasing about, I'm hearing the old way or an old system. This could even be addressing the simplicity of the past. I wonder if this is talking about generation and awareness of generation. This could be the effort or the ancestral narrative around building wealth, building generational wealth. But wealth is not just things here. Your energy is that of earth. This could be talking about contending with something that's hereditary, contending with like a chronic illness or something that pops up often. You could even be a person who actually puts themselves in the line of fire to be in those spaces where addictions are running rampant, or where there's more hidden behaviors, maybe criminal activity, nefarious ongoings. For some of you, this is about the intrigue. I heard something like, like true crime. Some of you may have been interested in that, or find that you are very attached to that type of content where we're solving mysteries. Because in the present here, with the Seven of Swords and then the Nine of Wands, it looks like we're valuing taking some time away to we're taking time to learn how to implement something new. There's some new information that's coming in for you, Capricorn, and this is something that you want to apply to your life first. You want to make sure, maybe this is you making sure that your references and your resources are legitimate. This is like testing the integrity. And you may be testing the integrity of a new pathway, maybe a new organization, say if we're talking about work, or maybe there's like a club or another space that you're looking to join into, or maybe you're wanting to get more involved in the environment. I feel like you are in the space to be testing the integrity because you have a really good barometer for that. You being so well versed in how structure has worked in the past, like for instance, let's say you know how the market works, how it fluctuates, how things like a common topic where I'm at is inflation, knowing how those things work. There's something about you being, you double checking. And then what it is that you're finding, you're testing it yourself. Or what could be happening here too is that you're not open to sharing what it is that you're discovering. There's a reason for that. We don't have to be scared of that, which means we also don't have to be scared of what it is that we're discovering, but it's like there is some sense of preservation that's going on here. And that I think that's one of the many skills that you developed in this phase of life, understanding how important it is to preserve, understanding how important it is to not only sift through the information in front of you in a certain way, but also to consider history or statistics, historical data, to consider these things and to move accordingly. There is some silence that I'm picking up. I mean, that naturally comes with the Seven of Swords, but the Nine of Wands is also giving, I don't want to be sharing a lot of my business. I will not be making, it's not just myself, but my knowledge accessible. It's like there's boundaries with information. There's boundaries with physical like borders and spaces as well. This in the present here, Capricorn, I feel it's like I would rather find out for myself than just take someone's word for it. I want to actually get my feet on the ground. I want to get in the past, we were writing this, we had this assistance, helping us travel down the pathway, travel into these new spaces. But it's like, no, I want the full body experience of what it's like to get my feet wet, put my feet on the ground, get firsthand information. I'm hearing what you're doing is due to needing to protect yourself. And that could just be for the future, in terms of resources, right? But I'm also getting this is talking about some form of, for some of you, it is talking about some form of like physical protection. Sometimes when I see the Nine of Wands, I think of a firewall. So this might be looking at, you might be looking at upgrading privacy. Upgrading your privacy, because maybe the way that you operated before, it actually left you exposed. There were some, as I call sometimes, these energetic hemorrhages that were happening. It left you more vulnerable, left you more exposed. Maybe the institution that you thought was sturdy, that you can trust, that's been around for a long time, isn't as trustworthy anymore. You found that out. And now you're in this more transitive space. You're in this more, it's like you're trying to configure what would be the next resting place for your assets. What would be the next safest resting place for you? Because your health is also like one of your greatest assets here. So there is it's like priority screening, or there's this prioritization that you're maybe quietly undergoing in the environment. It's like a new way of clearly putting yourself first, but you're making sure to move in a way that is not as loud as before. It's like you're not telling people your business because maybe you figured that it's not safe to do that for various reasons. I just heard some of you felt like, oh, you have confirmation that you were being observed in a way that you are no longer comfortable with, or that you were never comfortable with at all. So maybe the information that we're moving along with here has to do with wanting more privacy, needing more protection. So if we are learning how, maybe this could even be talking about like learning different forms of self-defense, learning what to look out for, learning to be more aware of what's going on around you, but in a way that is not that doesn't alarm yourself all over again, and then also that doesn't alarm. So this could also be just training, like emergency training that you're undergoing. It might be mandatory. It may be mandatory. Maybe you've started somewhere where it's like, this is you having to undergo a lot of exams for ethics, okay, to go through the handbook or whatever. But this could be some training that is mandatory, or that you feel should be mandatory. Another way of looking at that is maybe you're finally engaging in an activity that will help you feel more secure, more protected, and you've always wanted to do it, but you're finally doing it now. So then that's what could make it feel mandatory to you. Because it's possible that the environment no longer feels like a place where you can just kind of casually parade around. Like this transition, this unknown, this nebulous energy, this destabilization, you're focused on making sure that you can move accordingly, you can stabilize. And what I like about this, talking about stabilization, is in the potential outcome. Capricorn, you have the Nine of Cups, we real comfy, and then the Seven of Wands. There's that stabilization, and we're doing it looking good, okay? We got this. I don't see any problems here. No. You know exactly what you're doing. And this is actually going from I'm learning how to combine, to train myself, to train my mind and my body to have that coherence so that I know when to move accordingly. And this is like the mastery of it. This is the mastery of it. Okay, did we notice the 7 and the 9 and the 7 and the 9 here? Some of you are going to actually become very physically strong. That's part of the outcome here, becoming very physically strong. Like, the 7 of Wands could also be talking about the importance of balance. And again, coming back to, possibly using assistance before. This could even be a wheelchair, a cane, some sort of brace, or a crutch. Getting our feet on the ground. Learning how to reintegrate. For some of you, it is learning how to walk again outright. And then what could come of this is that you are like ambulant. You are ambulatory. You are able to move on your own. Okay, come on. Okay, there's that codependence right here. If you want to look at the shadow aspect of this major arcana, there's that codependence. It could have been, it's just securing these alarms too, of sirens. There could have been an accident. There could have been some event, alarming event that went down that caused for there to be some sort of crutch. Something that we became quite addicted to. We could even become addicted to celebrating our losses, celebrating our victimhood, okay? I mean, while there is a V for victory there, sometimes it's like celebrating our victim. It's like that woe is me story. And Capricorn, you're not the only sign that had this type of energy picked up. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the theme for the collective, okay? Is observing that former victim narrative and then stepping back and seeing how things are attached to that and the dependencies that have been created from that, how we've been codependent on that narrative and how that codependency has shown up in our lives, and then allowing ourselves to experience some form of rehabilitation, getting our feet on the ground, doing the work, getting into the field, making that choice. And it may feel very hard to break that old structure, to break that routine, because you know that we're habitual. And there's probably so many things in the environment that support you going back to a particular way of thinking, a particular way of reacting. But you see how important it is to remove yourself from that so that you can clear your mind. And you also know that it takes effort to not only create these boundaries, but then to uphold them. And you realize it's just you here because that's who you're fighting for. You're showing up for you. And remaining consistent in that creates a lifestyle where you showing up for yourself is very satisfactory. That is you following like your highest good. That is, for a lot of you, following your excitement. It's exciting to get well. It's exciting to feel good. It's exciting to undergo change because it's a part of you participating in building a new structure, but one that actually serves you, one that creates balance in your life, one that improves the health in your life. A life where even when the sirens are still going off, you don't have the same response like you used to. I just heard it. They're not coming for you. And you know it. And there's no, the tether to it. You see how this person is covering like the midsection here. It's like our gut. Our gut is more balanced. Our diet has something to do with this. It could even be like our mental diet too, but there is much more stability, and it's very easy for you to fend off those former 6 wands. It's easy for you to fend that off because you know you can get creative, which means you know you can get active. You're going to do what you need to do to make sure that you remain in alignment, to maintain that integrity with yourself. And that 7-1, there's that Leo energy. There's that Leo energy. No, I got it. I have no problems stepping up for myself like this. And yes, I'm satisfied with myself. Yes, I am getting everything that I want. And before the 9 of Cups was the 8 of Cups, it takes work choosing yourself, walking away. But the maturity that comes from that, no matter what age you are, clearly the potential is worth it. Okay, so Capricorn, I'm going to end the reading here. I thank you so much for joining me. I intend that this reading was validating. I intend that you felt seen and heard, and whatever type of rehabilitation or restructuring that you're undergoing here, whatever you're trying to detach yourself from, it can be done regardless. No matter what is going on in your environment, with your circumstances, you are deciding how you want to feel. You are deciding how you want to experience life. We utilize the resources around us. Okay, we utilize the resources around us. We talk to our healthcare providers. We talk to our counselors. We are inclusive because we like to be included, right? But at the end of the day, you are fine-tuning yourself to know what's best for you at all times, because you know that when you're at your best, you show up as your best when it's time to serve. Because even this could be talking about when you decide to come back out, when you decide, okay, this stage of rehabilitation is done, now I need to get active again. People are just like, look at you go. You are optimal. That goodness, it delivers. And it's only going to create so many good turnarounds for you and everybody that you come across. Capricorn, it's not often since I started doing my readings where I get this type of openness from you. Your energy is very open, and it's because you are actually closing off where boundaries need to be made. You're actually closing those doors. You're bolting them shut. You are actually going in and surgically, for some people literally surgically going in and tending to those wounds, those hemorrhages, closing things up, tidying it up in a way that has you to look at yourself like never before, to believe in yourself like never before. Clearly, you know you're worth it. You know what you've achieved before. And I think you are just allowing to put all bets on you to see what your achievements can, what they can deliver beyond your greatest imagination. That health that you want, because it feels very strong, your health, you got it. Find different fun ways to claim it now. Okay? So I thank you so much for allowing me to be a messenger. If you don't know, my name is Mayan, and if you want a private reading from me, the information's in the description. But either way, definitely comment. I love hearing your feedback. And like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing helps my channel a lot. And as always, please do your best to keep the faith, and I look forward to hearing from you next time, Capricorn.